project. 60 Ford Falcon. Pretty much straight. Had some crunch here. Not bad. Fender's pretty straight. Got some rust in the bottom. I just dug that out yesterday so I could see what I got. A little in the back there. A little bit right there in front of the door. The bed's in pretty good shape. No real rust in it. This fender is good. It's got a little bit of Bondo here and there on it. The rear bumper's in good shape. Got a little bit of rust right here on the tailgate. This side's pretty straight. Surface rust mostly. This is somebody's went in here and tried to fix this. Got a little rust in that inner wheel well. It rusted through, but you can see there where somebody tried to Bondo that, just cover it up, and then it's like somebody tried to go back and cut it all out again. So I'll put a piece of metal in there. I'll probably do the same to the other side. I don't know whether I'll metal it or fiberglass it. Right here behind the back of the wheel well along the bottom, it's got some bubbling. It had rust. Got 4 nice wheels on it. These are all 13s. Got brand new tires on it. Well, they used to be. Here on the top I got a little rust. Not super bad. And this fender here looks like it's in good shape. Got a little rubber, windshield rubber issues. I can probably just fix that with silicone. This section here got a little rust in it. Not bad at all. See if I can get the hood open. It's straight. Fenders are good and straight. They're off a little, but not bad. All the body lines are good on it. This bumper's got a little rust. I just sprayed some aluminum paint on it, make it look a little better. Got the hood open here. It has a little rust. Looks like somebody tried to Bondo it. Didn't work out too well. It was the engine compartment. I just sprayed some cleaner on it. It used to be blue, and then looks like somebody painted gold and then red over the top. My fender struts here, they look a little bent, but it's only like a ½ inch from the top of the shock mount to the firewall. And they tried to Bondo it here. I ripped some of that off. So it looks like it got hit here in this fender. Not very hard. And they just tried to fix it with Bondo instead of straightening out the sheet metal. The front valence is nice and flat. Good grill. But really not bad. And these came with a 144/6 and 60. And somebody's upgraded this with a 176. I got the carburetor apart right now. I went out and worked on it a couple days. Was able to drive about 30 miles home, but it won't idle now. It's just full of rust. And you can see the rust in the bottom of this filter here. A little 3-speed on the column. Transmission shifts good. Seat, it's all pretty good. I took all of the rubber here. It looks like I got a couple places in the floorboard, you know, dollar sized. And here in the back it's got a couple pinholes, but it's basically pretty strong. I washed it out with water, and then I drilled a couple holes in it to drain it. The other side's good. Rubber on the doors look like it's been replaced. They're pretty good still. The window channels need some work. All gauges work. Dash is straight. This is probably one of the worst places right here. Got a little rust right here on top of this too. I think I could fix this all with fiberglass and Bondo. Weld a couple little panels in. Got good wheels, all 4 hubcaps. Stainless is not too bad a shape. I have to get some door panels for it, or make them. I'll just probably make them out of wood. But most everything's there. I need some door handles or window crank handles. Basically, it's a pretty solid little project. All the lights and everything work. So it could be a really nice car. I'm just going to try to straighten it up in general and get the metal work done and just put primer on it. I ain't worried about painting it where it looks good or anything. I'll just white primer it, and that should do it for this. Got the carburetor apart. It's full of rust, but got another one here off a Mustang. It's in much better shape. But that's what I'll do, just clean this up. It drove 30 miles. At the end of it, it was dying at idle. I'm sure it was just plugged up with rust. And press on with this thing. This is not just project or tools. Where is it?
On the wall.
Over here?
No. You look at
Oh, those shelves right there?
Yep.
Oh, you braced them.
I did.
Yeah, that was a funny story. I was down here one night. She just stuck them up in there with no braces on them, put all kinds of stuff, and all of a sudden it's crash, bang, and I had a whole pile of clothes and shit here. Man, I thought somebody ran over the trailer, and it took me about 2 weeks to figure out that these shelves fell down. Well, she nailed them in there. Tried to nail them, gave up, screwed it.
What?
I should have got that when I welded it. Anyway, here's an update on a little Falcon. This is a heater out of it. I took that out. Motor was squealing, so I fixed it. Here's the other half of the heater. Here's a bumper, front bumper. I tried to replace a headlight in it, and it was twisted so bad that I couldn't get the headlight ring out. So I took a sledgehammer to it and I straightened it right out. This one's pretty good. Took this bed apart, and there's really not much to see. I didn't do much of anything, what you can see here, there's some Bondo coming out of the bottom of the bed. Well, that was all rusted out. It's got another inside. And so from about here to about here, a couple inches there, I cut that all out and used aluminum mesh and Bondo. This thing here, both doors were rotted out. You really can't see here, but from right here is where the belt line is, and supposed to be a groove right there. You can see where it lines up with the door there. But I can feel I still got to go out quite a bit on the Bondo to see the metal is still sticking out too much here. But I just finished this, and the door, it was all rusted out to about here, this whole piece. So I put another piece of metal in here and welded it. And I also got to take the bed out. There's a lot of rust right in back of the cab here where the water ran down. I need the fiberglass on the inside. I tried to take this bed out. I started on a couple bolts. I didn't even break them loose, so I don't know whether I'll do there. But I just used a piece of cardboard here to cover the hole. I got some handles for it, and I got some window cranks coming for it. This thing's broke off. I got a couple handles. I don't know what I'll do here. This rubber was real hard. I just stuck some foam rubber and some furniture pads down here to keep the window, but I did get some felt, and I put felt all the way around front and back, and it rolls up real good and tight. And the door was sagging, but I got it now where it's pretty good, and it slams a lot better and the window don't rattle. Still got to fix that mirror. I got to drill a hole and put another screw in it. The motor turned out to be really good. I've got some oil leaks in it right now. I went through the brakes. I did all 4 brakes, cleaned them all up and adjusted them, everything. It's got good brakes on it now, plenty of new fluid. This don't look too bad. I used some paint stripper, took some of the stuff off. Here's my heater hoses. I pulled the heater out of this thing. Here in the front, the bumper was really bent up high right here. Yeah. So I kind of straightened that valence out a little bit. Looks like I got still some dent right there, and this bar here is still a little fucked up. I'll tap on that shit and fix it. And but the headlights are good. The grill's real good. This front valence here is real good. It's not really bent up. And right here, it looks like somebody tried to. Looks like it was hit. And also you can see it was bent here. So they didn't really beat that out far enough. And this support thing is broken. I welded this back in right here. It's a pretty nice weld actually. Sort of surprised myself. And this fender, you can see there's kind of a kink in it. And I think it's because it can be moved over. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but it looks like it's bent there to me. It looks like that whole fender ought to be bent back in, and this piece pushed back. I can do that by putting some boards and stuff against this one and using a porta power and squashing that back. Hopefully. Can't do it against the motor or anything, just got rubber motor mounts. And I fixed the fuel tank. That was kind of a bitch. The cinder was just completely dissolved. But I got it now where right now it's on off, and the gauge there is just below the, let me get my camera set here, just below the dot. And when I turn it on, you can see it coming up there. and it's just the line just barely covers the dot, and I know I got 2.5 gallons in here. So when it says when it's right on empty covers the dot, I got 2.5 gallons, you know, which is probably about 60 miles. And you can see right in the middle or the bottom of the dot, it's empty. So that's good. I always like to know when I'm going to run out of gas. This one door I haven't really done much to. It was not too bad. The rubber is mostly existing. I still have some of the chrome stuff there in the window. This radio, I'm sure it don't work. I got some wires loose, but I pulled all the heater out. You can see there, and took all that old crappy, bad, rotten insulation and stuff out. And I got new pads coming for that, and I just fixed the heater so it'll go back in. There's no leaks in it. Now I got some rust to clean up here inside the doors. I'll just spray some of that POR 15 on them. There's some stuff that changes rust into paintable metal. I'll just spray all that as much as I can. The floorboards, they're rusted really bad. I mean, they're strong, but they've got some holes in them. So I'm going to just fiberglass this whole front section, both sides up to the firewall there. I got all of my gauges and everything. These are all free. They all work. All the electrics work except for the cigarette lighter. I got to do something about that. And these rubbers, these are kind of expensive, and somebody had done them probably when they painted it red, but they're still in pretty good shape. And I'm going to just make some door panels out of, you know, wall paneling that's some kind of wood. Looks good. Brag on my door, now it won't close. Oh, I know it'll close. Yeah. Still not quite perfect. You can see it's off a little down at the bottom, but I twisted the top in a lot so it would seal. The wind noise was bugging me, and I don't care if it's misaligned down there a little. This side over here, oh, I found a big dent here. It had some Bondo in it. I chiseled that all out. I've got some bubbling right here. I don't think I'm going to have to do any metal repair. Probably go to the inside, clean it, and spray some shit. And this is about what the other one looked like on the other side. This was completely all gone inside here. It was the inner fender well and everything. And what I've done is fiberglass that all in there. Can't really see it now, but I'll take it off, take the wheel off, and get under there and make a nice thing. I have to do that on the other wheel too, because when I was welding the piece in, I could tell that it was starting to rust, but this one was just about gone. And I can just weld my little piece of steel. I'll show you my steel. Yeah, here's the steel I got. I got 3 pieces. And I can use a half of one here and about a third there to cover that. And, well, I'm probably looking at the ground, but and this is pretty much all real solid. It's either fiberglass or Bondo in there, so it's really strong. I just decided to try to instead of worrying about trying to patch that and hoping it wouldn't leak water and everything, I just made this whole thing. And then when I weld this steel panel in right here, that'll make it all work really good. I may even run part of the steel over here into this section here and make it a little stronger. Probably not, because once you weld this stuff in, it's pretty solid. And this one, yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to do the same thing with it. I could probably fiberglass this. I'm not sure what I'll do there. Well, we'll see how it goes when I weld this in, and maybe I just cut this whole thing out of here and use this steel here and just weld a new little plate in there. That might be the best thing to do. Take it up to about here, get it away from all this rust, and I can bend it at a 90 like this. It's not a big deal. And so some little more welding. The other one had a hole right here, so I had to weld the whole piece in that one. But you can see the rust in it's pretty bad. I don't know, I kept thinking it was in a flood or something. But here it looks like the bed's rusted out right there. It's the same on both sides. At least I can repair this one. I need to get this panel out right here, and then I can do that bed. I'll probably leave that for now until I can get that thing out. Maybe with vice grips. If I have to, I'd drill off those bolts. That's a pain in the ass. There's a lot of them. I got me new glove box coming. I already got it. All the metal in here is real straight. You know, I can pretty much just sand everything real good. Put a coat of primer on this. You know, nothing's really cracked or anything. This is all pretty good in here still. Of course, I have to fix all of this rust. I didn't realize it was in this one. The other side's not bad. And I still got to do the windows here, but a lot of this is still left. But I got the stuff to do them pretty good, and these rubbers are good. So this door seals. This one always did shut pretty good. See, it's real straight. It's just a window rattling around in it just makes it bad. And that's about it. So, oh yeah, and the wipers here, they run off a vacuum, and there's a special vacuum fuel pump down there. Pumps gas out of the bottom and vacuum out of the top, but it'll just barely move one windshield wiper when it's idling, and you run them pretty good if it had some vacuum, but it's really not acceptable. I have to be able to start it when it's idling and clean the windows in the morning because it got dew on them. So I ordered an electric conversion kit. These two things up here is, we call them shock tower support arms. That one there looks like it's bent up or something. I think I'm going to take a hammer and push that down. Maybe when I push against it this way to push this fender out over here, maybe that'll help straighten it out. But anyway, got a new valve cover gasket. I'm going to take this thing off, this valve cover, get some Ford blue paint it, and then the motor doesn't look really bad. I think I can just get a can of paint it too. And these heads are manifolds made right into the head, so you don't have a hell of a lot of opportunity to soup these up with putting different carburetors or anything on them. But I'm gonna get a little supercharger and put on it. I can run it right here on this side, and I just have to modify my pulleys a little bit. I'll probably just might be able to run one right straight off of the bottom there, off of the dampener pulley. If I have to, I put electric fan in it, and just run that as an idler, and that'll give me room to put I could actually put a pulley on that. Anyway, and I don't know what I'll do for intake, just leave it open. And then this little 1-barrel carburetor, that manifold's got me really restricted, but if I start pumping about 5 pounds of boost in there, you know, that should I should really get a lot more gas and air in it, and it'll run pretty good. And they're high winding motors, they're balanced well. So anyway, my $1,000 car, I got over $1,000 already spent in knickknacks and tools, and I welded, cut this door and weld it, and this fender here, let's see, it's kind of bowed out there a little bit. It needs to be pushed back in and tightened up. I just loosen it and adjust that. So anyway, that's my status of this 60 Falcon project. I haven't shot as much video as I should, but I'll try to show you the welding and cutting of these 2 panels here, and how I fix that, and try to get a little more video for you. Well, moving along on this, I pulled all the stuff off this motor. It was leaking oil, and I put a new valve cover gasket in it. The motor looks just like brand new inside. So, I can see some spacers under the valve springs. So it's been a rebuilt head, and I got to pull that fuel pump off of there. Put a plate on it because I've got electric fuel and an electric vacuum now. So this is all pretty much good. I finished up my wipers. They work good, and I've got the heater apart here. Redid the motor so it runs good. Got a gasket kit coming. Nasty is working on the tail lights. This one here she sanded out. We primed it, put it back in. Looks real good. Got my fuel sending unit in. Got a little tiny shop vac. That thing works pretty good. Let's see if I can get you a shot of this electric wiper under here. I don't know if you can see it there, but it works good. You can see there it's got, I think that's high. There's a low. I had to take all the linkage out of the wipers here and weld them because they're worn. And you turn it off, and it's got a good stop. I got some new blades for it, and I took the old choke out and put a wiper. I'd chewed the dash up a little bit, but I got that out. There's the old wiper motor there. Yeah, but basically all this is good. I got a couple dome light switches here I need to put in and do some wires. I don't know if that bulb's any good or anything, but basically just kind of moving along. I got this all welded up and finished. Still got a little to do here in the front of the door, and I used some clear silicone here, flowable silicone, and I sealed the window all the way around so it shouldn't leak water. I've got to build up a place right here. I'll do that with regular silicone, I think. but motor looks pretty decent. I painted it down in there as far as I could get. Not perfect by any means, but at least I can get all my oil leaks stopped. I'll still have to redo all of this. I gotta straighten this fender out and weld that. And then next I'll clean up this valence and try to prime it. And worked a little on this eyebrow here. And I've got my rust here that I'll finish chewing up today. And I'm going to put these new wipers on and finish up my my window deals. Finish up this. Got an air cleaner around here. It's pretty bad, but I think I'll paint it. I don't know what color I'll paint it. Probably black. Oh, there it is. Yeah, see, it was all painted red. I'll clean that up, hit it black, put it on there. It'll look pretty good. Alright, thought I'd show you a little bit of this metal work here. This is just a piece of metal I welded in. First I bent a piece here. This whole door was rusted out all the way down to here. You can still see it's got holes in it right there. Probably because water ran down on the inside, but I just put in a piece of metal, tacked it all real good here, ground it down, and run it all the way back here to the where this all solid bondo, that piece in there. Tacked it all in, ground it down pretty smooth, and now I'm gonna mix up some bondo and try to get in here. I probably should repair this rust right here. I'm not sure what I should do there. I'd have to cut another piece, weld it in, put an edge on it, cut this loose. Because this is so thin that you can see it's just poking right on through. It's really got no strength in it. Maybe that's what I'll do, is cut this piece out. I got enough metal here to left over to make me another piece. And just take it all the way down to the bottom there and right in this area. Probably ought to just weld that whole piece in there like that. Kind of hate to do that. Yeah, this is chewed up pretty good. A little rust in it. That's the problem with these old things, you know, there's so much rust in them that the more you do, the more you find. Anyway, I'm going to try to cut this out. Weld me another piece in it. Alright, I cut that all out. Good thing I did. All of it was rusted and chipped up. And it's got a lot from the inside. And I cut a piece here. I'll just throw that in there and grind it down, and at least that'll make that part stronger. And if I ever get back there to do the back, I'll finish up the rest of this. For now, I just sprayed it with Rust Stop. Alright, I got that all welded in. Ground down pretty good. Door's still chewed up, but I think that's good enough to bondo it, and I'll be just fine. Alright, this one's bondoed up, welded. I drew a line there on it to mark the where I need to bring everything. This one I cut out. It's real low into the door here, and it's got some inner rust. It looks like it had a dent. They didn't fix it very well. So I'm going to kind of stick something up there and pry this out till it's got a bit of a curve to it. I think I'll put some fiberglass on the inside of that door there. I've got Rust Stop on it right now. That'll hopefully stop a little bit of the rust coming through into the bottom of the door and rusting out. And I'll cut I got a rough piece of sheet metal here. I'll cut that, weld that in, and then press on. Now this is what I did yesterday. I beat all this bondo and stuff off of the inner panel, straightened up this fender best I could, loosened up the fender bolts, and jacked it in to where it's pretty straight, and then welded it right there because my bolts are chewed up. But I got it pretty straight, a lot straighter than it was, and I got this all pretty much welded together where it's supposed to go. And when you slam the hood, the hood is straight. Show you that. Now you can see the line here is pretty straight. This one's off a little, and I've got some this back one is not real good either. You can see it's got to go back there, but I'll just average out all the errors in it. But for practical purposes, that hood was straight, and I've got the fender real straight. We primed this. All the headlights have been sanded good here. Got a little welding to do right here on the corner. This is coming along. Did a little bit more here on the inside. This is a new inside dash liner. You can't really see it too well, but it's made of this stuff here, and it's all pre-cut and stamped. So this cleaned up the dash area real nice. Now I have to put the heater in and hook up all my cables and stuff. And I also got some new defroster hoses. Yeah, I'll make a little video of that. Go back to my body work.